Hi, this is Roslynn Eve again, and we're going to be starting tonight with the rule of thirds. And that's what this one is about. So if you look at this right image over here, then this is the true rule of thirds. You're taking this whole space of whatever your painting is or drawing, whatever, and you're going to take it in and draw these lines, imaginary lines, or you can do it on a transparency. And you're making these lines come in a third from every edge. So a third of the way in is where you're placing these lines. So as far as an image goes, then let's put an image there so you can see what I mean. Okay, so there's your rule of thirds. Now, what is the rule of thirds for? That is to show you where it is the best to place your areas of interest. So if we wanted a tree to be the main area of interest, then we would put a tree right here. Let me get the little handout. Okay, so it would be placed here on the third line, and that would make it more prominent. Or if we were going to have a bright sun, then we would place it on a third line, and then that would make it stronger. And why did I put blue over here on this left image? Why did I put blue here in the center? Because anything in this center area on these lines, not in the middle, but on the lines, so where the blue lines are, that is going to make that area of interest more strong, noticeable, and more memorable. And why do I have these black loops, you ask? Okay, well, the black loops are actually there to show you that this is kind of like a target area. I call it a PowerPoint. And this is all according to Roz's version of art critique, which I call practical art analysis. And according to the way I do it, or my method, these are the PowerPoints. And so if you place an area of interest on these where the red lines cross, which I put the loops over here on the left image, so you'd put a loop there. So if you put something there, it's going to make it much more noticeable. So let's show you. Okay. There you go. Pretty noticeable, right? Of course, if you make it bigger, if you make it smaller, then compared to all this mass here, it's not going to be large enough to command any interest. So depending on the size, the color, etc., then it's also going to determine how strong of a main area of interest it is. But the placement is important. Watch when we go like this. Let's move it around. And we put it over here. So let's get rid of the lines for the moment. And the box. Okay. So if we move it up here, does that look good to you? We'll just move that over a little bit. You see what I'm saying? It loses a lot of its ingredient as a area of interest just by moving it, and look at what happens, how boring it is when we put it in the middle. Okay, so the placement, this is what I'm showing you, is the placement is very important in the image. Now in this case we've got all this dark weight down here, so this is all kind of more neutral and so on, so we want to balance some of this dark weight down here by putting something up here in the sky. And so if we put it on the third line, and there's that inner blue line I was talking about, and here is you see the circles from over there. Okay, so if we place this, you can see that it is on the third line. There you go. And as soon as you move it around, see how it loses its ability. Yeah. Okay. So you get the point, right? Now, you're going to say, yeah, but Roz, does this apply to abstract art? No, that can't be right. It can't apply to abstracts, does it? Well, let's have a look. But first, we'll just show you one more time. This is the placement. There's the third lines. And you see how, now you'll say, well, this is white, and I get why that's stronger. And notice that when I did it, this is what it looked like, and this is the upgrade I did to it, is brightening, and down, this is more grayed out now, and this is brighter, you see, to make it more of a strong area of interest. So even though it's on the third line, this over here is taking some of the attention away from it because it's lighter. And with so much dark space, you're going to be noticing any bit of light space that's there. So taking away some of the attention from that, I just darkened it down a little, see? And I lightened this, see? Okay, so when we look up here, you'll say, well, how come this white doesn't draw as much attention as this? Because this is a solid mass, a much more dense mass, and it's on one of the lines. This is less mass, you see, and it's a little bit on the line, but no, not really. This has most of its mass centered on one of the lines. There you go. Okay, so let's get rid of this example. And this was just another one I wanted to show you how if it's a tall image, it does make it more interesting, but also you still have to place that on the third line, and it looks smaller now because of all the space. So it loses some of its impact as well. Okay, just little points. Okay, so let's go to the next example here. And we're going to get rid of that one. And we're going to have these. Okay. Okay, so this one is merged, so we can't change it. I did that on purpose. However, I can still put in third lines. And interestingly enough, the black circles where the third lines go are actually kind of making it interesting, isn't it? Okay, now let's look at this one. This is the one that we can alter. Now, just to show you about the third lines, I did show you on this one where the third lines are there. And you can see that this white one is placed right on the third line. So why is it more noticeable than any of the rest of the stuff? Well, because there's a lot more dark in the dark area here, the dark. This is medium, you know, and all the background is medium. So why is it that the white is showing? Because it's the least quantity of light to dark is this, and it's also the most solid mass there. So let's look over here at this one. Now, I don't care about whether you like the images or you like the shapes, because we're just making points here. I did a whole bunch of random shapes and sizes and things just to make my point. Now let's move things around. So let's take that white one, and is that this one? Yes, it is. Okay, so let's move the white one around. Let's put it out there. Now, are we getting uncomfortable with where that's placed because of its whiteness and it's drawing the most attention? How about if we put it out here? Now we're getting a lot of weight going on out here, right? You see how it just doesn't look right. But as soon as you put it where it should be there on the third line, cross point, now it looks correct. It helps balance the weight. And if we move any of the other ingredients around, you find the same thing. So this concludes the tutorial here for today, and I think we made it clear where the third lines are and how to use them and how best to use them. And So now I'm going to show you. Here is me. So this is where you can find me. This is my Facebook page. And so if you would like your own practical art analysis, then you can find me here. My price page is there. And please do enjoy the other interesting art links as well. And this is my email in case you need to contact me. Also, you can buy my book, The Art Advantage, from Amazon.com or Amazon.ca, but you can also get it by email download or on USB from me. And again, you can find that on my Facebook page. Okay, well, thank you for your interest, and hit that subscribe and hit the like, and we will see you next time. Okay, bye-bye.